Flosstube. My name is Claire and I'm the Anxious Stitcher. This is a channel about cross stitch in which I share projects that I'm working on that bring me peace, comfort, and joy. First of all, I want to thank you for those of you who watched my first Flosstube video. And I want to welcome you if you are new. And then just thank you for all the nice comments that I received in my last video. It is so fun to get to know, other stitchers out there. So thank you. All right, so today is going to be part 2 of my WIP parade, and which will be my 2020 starts, my 2020 WIPs. So let's get started. Okay, so this you've already seen, but I'll talk a little bit more about it. This is the Guardian Angel by Mirabilia. This is the one that I'm stitching on the 18 count Ada that I dyed myself, and this was my birthday start. My birthday is in January, so it was my first start in the new year. And so last week I mentioned I would said to comment on whether if I should work on this one or the March Aquamarine Fairy for my Mirabilia Mondays stitching, and I did a poll on my Instagram, and March Aquamarine Fairy won, which is this one. So Guardian Angel will be put away. I did work on her last Monday, more down here, that sort of section, the gray in there. And while I love this, I am happy to kind of take a break because I had to frog that apron and restitch it, and I'm a little nervous about getting to the other side because I'm not sure I stitched that right, so we'll see. But it'll just get a little break for a while, and I'll focus on March Aquamarine Fairy starting on Monday. So thank you for those of you who contributed to that poll and shared your opinion. I appreciate it. Okay, so next up is... Okay, sorry about that. I had to pause the video because I didn't have it in the right place. My next 2020 WIP is called the Governor's Palace. It's a DMC kit. I can't show you a picture because it's just the chart, but this is the companion piece to the capital that I showed last week. It's these small little designs of the buildings from Williamsburg, Virginia. And so the Capitol building was the one I showed last week, and then this is the Governor's Palace. And this one's kind of cool because it'll have like a garden courtyard right here. I have not touched this much, obviously. And I don't know when I'll get to it again, but I had mentioned again in my last video that I was planning on maybe eventually making these a gift, so we'll see. All right, this next one is one of my favorites. I am really a big fan of Halloween, not scary like gory horror movie type Halloween, but more of like the fun, like cutesy hocus pocus type Halloween. As you probably saw from my tiny modernist Sleepy Hollow WIP that I have. But this is Halloween Quaker by Leela's Studio. Oh, it's just so fun. I love this one. And this is my progress on it. So I am stitching this on, let's see, it is a 32 count linen by Black Cauldron Fabrics, and the color is called Murder of Crows, and it's I don't know if you can tell, but it's like an opalescent fabric. And I just love this. This is really fun to stitch. And I'm kind of changing out the colors, just kind of whatever I feel like, because while the original chart is wonderful, I think the color of my fabric doesn't really go well with some of the colors that are charted. So I kind of am making this an experiment and using, here's a couple of examples. Some of these, using some of the called for DMC, but the DMC variegated threads, and I had purchased like a fall color pack, so I thought these would just be really great in this piece. So I haven't really used a lot of it yet, but I used it some in the candy corn, and then this here, and then that little motif there, and even in the witch's broom I used some of it. And then some of the other motifs, I'm just picking colors. This is one of my favorite DMC colors. Well, it's just one of my favorite colors in general. And of course, I don't remember the DMC number, I'm sorry, but yeah, I just love that color. And I'm just kind of picking the colors as I go along, whatever I feel like will look good next. So that is Halloween Quaker. So fun. Okay, so my next 2020 WIP is called Pride and Prejudice Longbourn from Owl Forest Embroidery. And this is part of a 3-part series. Longbourn is the first one. Then there is Netherfield and Pemberley. I would eventually love to stitch them all, but I haven't even made much progress on this one. This is what I have done. I worked on this in the spring a little bit. And this is 32 count platinum Belfast linen in the color platinum. And then I'm just using DMC. And this was a PDF file that I had purchased from Owl Forest Embroidery. So yeah, very fun. I'm a fan of Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorites. So I think this will be really nice to get back to sometime. Okay. Next is, this is the last lavender and lace piece that I have. I showed you the 5 Celtic ladies in my last video. And so this I had also received as part of the gift that I got for Christmas one year. And, oh, I apologize. I forgot to pull the picture. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry about that. Santa of the Forest. I love this one too. This is really fun. And this is my progress on that. I have the bear's head done, and then last time I worked on this, I was working on Santa's beard. I just kind of wanted to stitch the beard and his and Santa's face first to get all that the white and the ecru colors out of the way before I get to the fun animals, the rest of the fun animals. So that is Santa on the Forest, and this is 28 count linen in the color French Lace. And this is also DMC. Most of my projects are DMC, but I do have a couple of other types of threads that I use. Okay. Then this one has a little story behind it. So one of the Flosstubers that I watch Pam and Steph from JustKeepStitchn. They were one of the first ones I started watching when I started watching Flosstube. And as you know, that in 2020, I'm sure a lot of you, like me, started a lot of projects. And actually I have finished some of those projects. That's why this year's WIPs are not as many, because I had finished some. But I was temporarily laid off for 2 months in 2020 during the pandemic, and so I just started a lot of things. And most of these, besides the last, except for the Guardian Angel, the rest of them were Mania starts. I think I had done 2 starts a weekend or a start a weekend. It wasn't like an everyday thing. It was more geared towards the weekends, because I usually have weekends off work. So that is how I did Stitch Mania, and I think that was the last time I did Stitch Mania, was 2020. Anyway, so back to my original story. Watching Just Keep Stitching, Pam had started a birthday sal for her birthday from Twin Peak Primitives, and this is the I'll Be Home series. And you can purchase these separately, but I got the entire group of them. And originally I was going to stitch them individually. And the annoying thing was, I ordered the kit with the fabric and it just took forever to get here. And so I was almost late starting this stitch along, and then I cut the fabric, but I didn't cut it the right size, so the pieces were too small, so I had to buy new fabric. But so I bought new fabric and restarted it, and I only got half of I only got half of it done. Ugh. But I love the little houses. I'm not normally a house stitcher, but I mean, these are just so fun. I just love all the different styles. It's so great. It's so fun. So eventually I would like to get back to this. The only thing I'm not really liking right now is that, this is in white and you can't read it. I mean, maybe if you look closely. So I don't know if I want to change that or not. Well, I'll have to see when I pull this out again. And I don't know when I'll pull it out again, but you know, when you go through your WIPs, it's kind of like, oh, I like that one. And, oh yeah, I should work on that one too. Anyway, that is I'll Be Home. And yeah, so that is, and of course that's all finished, and I am not even, there's a Facebook group, and I still think it's going. People still stitch them. Of course, like, I never got past the first house, but that's okay. That's just how it goes sometimes. All right, next WIP is okay, this is Madonna and Child by Joan Elliot. I had wanted to start a Joan Elliot. This was one was not a Mania start. This one I started in November. And it was a kit. I got it as a kit. I'd never stitched a Joan Elliot before, so I wanted to kind of try a kit to see how I liked it. So I actually swapped out the Ada though for a 28 count linen, and I actually worked on this a little bit the end of April and early May, and that is how much I have done. I think it's looking really good now that I got some of the colors in. And the only thing that I don't like about this one is that the chart is kind of hard to read. The symbols are really small and kind of almost blurred together. So I've been having a little bit of a challenge reading the chart, but I still love the design, and I would still love to stitch. I mean, I have like a whole list of her designs I would love to stitch. So that is Madonna and Child. Then, oh, I was wrong. I have that other lavender and lace that I did not show you last week because this was a restart. So, another lavender and lace. This is the 5th Celtic lady that I did not show you in my last video. Celtic Winter. And so I actually wanted to show you my original, sorry for the crinkling, my original start. I actually had got a lot done on her. She was the first one I ever started, and I don't remember the year, it was so long ago. So here she is. I think this is done in the called for colors. This was my original start. And this is this is the only fabric I did not have the tag for. So I think it's some kind of 28 count linen that, it's like a gray color. And somewhere in the bottom here is where I had goofed and it got kind of off in here. So, and then I put it away for so long that I didn't really know what mistake I made, and I was kind of feeling a little frustrated with it, so I decided I wanted to restart it. And I ordered a new fabric, and there's something about this project that I just can't remember the names of the colors, but it's another 28 count linen, and it's like this kind of dark green. It's showing more blue, but I just thought that the white and gray dress would look great on this fabric, and I wanted to do a conversion on her, to do, instead of the gold, to do silver. So I'm just not sure what I want to do about this. Comment down below if you think I should attempt to continue with this one or continue with my start on the newer fabric with the silver conversion. Let me know what you think. The one with the gold on the gray fabric, or the one on the blue fabric with that will be silver. Let me know. I might make another poll on Instagram and see what people think. All the other Celtic ladies I have figured out, and you know, they're going great, but this is the only one I'm really struggling with. Okay, so that was my last start in 2020. That was a December. I just started it on winter solstice because it was Celtic winter. So that was my last 2020 start. Okay, I'm gonna move a couple things, just a minute. Okay, cleaned up a little bit, so now I can move on to the next section, which is my current WIPs. So I already showed you the Guardian Angel and what I worked on her, and that was on Monday. Then on Tuesday, I worked on Temperature Butterfly. So I took it out on my hoop this time so you can kind of see. There we go. So there's the first 4 months, and then that's May down there, and then June is the one that's not filled in yet. So I haven't caught up on this yet. I still have to fill in the last day of May on the very bottom, and then I'm gonna work on this tonight to kind of get caught up to today. And I just love this fabric. It's so fun. Yeah, I really love this one. So this week will be, maybe I'll talk about it next week when I show you my update, but it really warmed up a lot this week. So it got up into the 70s, but there has still been some overcast and a little bit of rain. So it has been pretty muggy. And then that was most of the week. And then Friday it cooled down again. And today too, which is why I'm wearing a sweatshirt again. So we should see some more brighter colors, some more brighter yellows, I think, at the beginning of June. So that's my Tuesday, and my weekend, I work on that. And then I think, did I work on this? I think I had worked, I only worked on this one day out of the week, I think. This is the stocking. That I'm working on for my daughter, called Winter Fun on Ice. It's a Donna Cooler studio design that is designed by Linda Gillum, I think is the name. And I worked on, I was starting to work on the penguin down here, and I didn't get very much in because I'm actually going to put this away for this month and bring it out next month, because I have a start that I'm going to share in a little bit. But I'm going to work on it in July for like a Christmas in July type theme. So it'll come back out soon. And then, of course, last weekend, I worked on Teresa Wentzler Night, and it's so hard to see, but that's what I have done. I only got this, a little bit of this in right there. I think it might start moving faster. This section in here was pretty confetti heavy. And of course there's so many blends in her designs. But I think you see the symbols more frequently going up onto her sleeve and her dress. So I think it will go a little bit faster. I'm also going to work on it this weekend some more. And let's see here. And then the last WIP that I worked on, I didn't work on as much this week. Some weeks are just like that, but I am doing full coverage Fridays, and my full coverage piece I'm working on is Spirit of Flight, Heaven, Earth, and Designs, artwork by Josephine Wall. And this is, I told you last week, I shared that it was, I had restarted it, and I worked on this last night, so I had a lot of progress. Actually, I feel like I had a lot of progress. I put stitches down there and then over here, and then I'm kind of working in color sections, so I'm doing all the black kind of in here, and then there's like a dark blue, which I think I'll do next to start filling in. That's kind of just how I like to stitch. I was thinking about doing, you know, block by block, but I think I just like filling in the color majority, and we'll see once I get to more of the confetti. But yeah, so that's a small progress on that. I think I want us to the hashtag. I was trying to look it up to see if there was one that was being used, but I think if you want to stitch your full coverages on Fridays with me, hashtag full coverage Friday XS, and I'll try to figure out how to put that on the screen there. So hashtag full coverage Friday XS for cross stitch. So show me what you're working on. That'll be great. And it doesn't have to be Heaven and Earth Designs. It could be, you know, anything that has a lot of stitches, really. So, okay, I think we're ready for the next section. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you, so every week I'm gonna show you a previous finish. And because I shared my 2020 WIPs, I will show you the 2020 temperature piece. It's the first one I ever did. All the temperature pieces I've done have been by Stitchin Mommy Sarah Hughes, and she has an Etsy shop. You can find all those patterns on there. And so this is temperature balloons. And this is just a 14 count Aida in light blue, and I had started this, of course, January 1st, 2020. So I guess I did have another 2020 start earlier than my birthday. I didn't finish it until September 5th, 2021. Oops. I'd kind of put it away for a while. I really love hot air balloons. I think that's fun. I'd love to do a hot air balloon ride someday. But there is a local hot air balloon festival every year in June. And wouldn't you know it, 2020, the hot air balloon event was canceled. So maybe it was fitting that I stitched the balloons, because we didn't get to experience the balloon festival. They fly by where we live. They float along, and sometimes I'll take my kids and we'll drive to where they land, and we get to watch them kind of disassemble the balloon and put it away. And one year my oldest daughter got to help, and that was just so fun. It was really fun. So this will be really memorable. But because it was such a crazy year, I had added some wording. So for January balloon, I did 2020. Then this is February, March, April. And that is when, you know, the pandemic really hit. So I stitched Let's Stay Home and then COVID at the bottom. And then the May, June, July, was when the Black Lives Matter movement was going on. And then September, October, November, I put vote because that was election time. And then I stitched the temperatures and colors so you could kind of see. And I know it looks kind of like a hot mess, but honestly 2020 was a hot mess. So I just think this is a neat piece because, you know, it's something I can pass on to my kids and family, and you know, they can go, you know, be like, oh, you know, your relative stitched this during the pandemic, and you know, I just thought that would be an interesting idea. So anyway, I need to frame it still. I haven't framed any of my temperature pieces yet, but I want to do that soon and get them up on my wall so we can enjoy them. Okay, so I told you in my very first video that there wouldn't be a lot of haul because I am trying to stick to a budget, but in the spirit of June, I decided to purchase the Modern Folk embroidery pattern, the Move Forward in Love, and I don't have a picture of it because I bought the PDF and I just have the pattern. I don't know if I know how to put a picture in, but if I can, I will. But you can look it up on Instagram or just online, Modern Folk Embroidery. But there's two versions, and I'm doing the monochromatic version, and I just feel inspired to stitch this because, as a reminder to be kind, and yeah, to be kind. So I plan on stitching on this every day this month, and I am doing it in this variegated rainbow thread. It's honestly, it's just I was gifted a pack of floss that I think was intended for like friendship bracelets, which I think is kind of fitting. And there's like a bunch of like rainbow bright colors, and so I just thought that would be really fun. And so of course I'm a middle starter, and so I have Move Forward in, and then there's two little birds. I think they kind of, I just stitched those today. I feel like they look like little parrots. I think it's cute. So yeah, I'm just gonna work on this every day this month, see how far I get. Maybe I can finish it. And I've seen people do that 25/7 stitch 25 minutes a day, 7 days a week. That's kind of where I'm going with this, but just for the month of June. And then, like I mentioned earlier, my plan is to go back to the Christmas stocking so I can get some work done on that. So that is my new start, and the chart that I purchased. So next is stitching tool of the week is what I'm doing. So for that Teresa Wentzler project that I'm working on, as many of you know, it is, and I've mentioned before, it has lots and lots of blended threads. And so this is kind of the card that I had that I started using, but there's so, like, most of the symbols are blended threads, most of them. So this isn't enough. And I could punch holes up here, but sorry about that. Okay, so the blended threads, I have the symbol and then the two threads. Well, this isn't going to be enough. So, and I just don't really want to buy another one right now, or a bunch. I'd have to buy a lot of those. So I came up with the idea is, I keep a lot of cards, that I've been given, or that my family's been given for birthdays and Christmas and whatnot, and came up with the idea of using a greeting card and punching holes in it, and then if you open it up, I'm gonna write, I had torn out, there was like a paper page with the messages in here, and I took that out, but I wrote the symbol, and so I'm gonna start filling the rest of them in here, and then if I need to do more, I figured I could just go across the top. And so I thought that would be a great way to not spend money and use what I have, and it has this really great you know, sentiment on the front. Never forget how unforgettable you are. So I think that's really sweet and very fun. So that's my tool of the week. And so next I'm gonna talk about, I'm just gonna list all the Flosstubers that I'm watching. Like I said, I've been watching for a couple years now, probably since 2019, and definitely through the pandemic. And this week I have watched Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching, KarlaBeingCrafty, D's 20 Stitches, B's and T's Stitching, CoffeeStitcher, GGKCS podcast, and Fiberartsamy. I have several that I watch frequently, and I am making a commitment to watch as many new Flosstubers as I can, especially being a new Flosstuber myself. So I will try to list those down below if you're interested in checking them out. So every week I'll just talk about who I've watched and maybe mention anything that I think is interesting. Yeah, I have a lot more I want to watch today to catch up on. So next, my plans for this upcoming week and this weekend. So this weekend I'll work on the Teresa Wentzler project and the temperature butterflies. I'll get that caught up, and then Monday will be March Aquamarine Fairy. Tuesday, temperature butterflies again. Last week I did not get to my chatelaine, which is why I didn't show it. So I missed the hashtag chatelaine Wednesday. So Wednesday I will try to fit in my Royal Tudor Mandala chatelaine project. And then of course Friday I'll do my full coverage Friday and work on Spirit of Flight. And then again, weekends are for Teresa Wentzler, and then every day I'll work on the Modern Folk Embroidery piece. So those are my plans. So thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, consider subscribing, like the video. You can leave a comment. If you have a question, feel free to leave a question. I can try to have a question section of my segment of my program. And I just want to say, you know, I'm trying to think of like, how do I end these videos? What should I say? And I've been trying to, we'll see what flows, but for now, I just want to end with just that, you know, may you find peace and comfort and joy in your stitching or whatever project you're working on. So thank you. Bye-bye.